How y'all doing once again, man? It's your boy L Dog back in the building. Larry Reactions is here to talk about the season finale, The Last of Us. Once again, I always say it, I ain't got nothing but praise for this series. This is probably the greatest video game adaptation ever. Impeccable. Very good. If you have not watched it, all episodes are streaming on HBO Max. Y'all make sure y'all go in there and check it out. Very good. If you're a fan of the video game, you're gonna love this series. It's really good. So, just like at the end of The Last of Us 1, they didn't deviate from the game as much, but this was almost exact, just like what happened at the end of The Last of Us 1. There was one thing that they changed at the beginning. It was like a flashback. They showed a woman running through the woods. She was getting chased by an infected, and she was pregnant. And I kind of already put together who that might be. And it turned out to be Anna. And Anna was Ellie's mom. And she, at the time, she was pregnant with Ellie. And man, she looked like she was going into labor, being chased by an infected, trying to get to safety, to get away from this infected. I was like, man, this is giving me that Quiet Place vibe. Real shit. Man, so she found somewhere to hold up to this building or whatever like that, and she called herself hiding, and she was literally going into labor. She was going into labor, and then all of a sudden, the infected ran in there, busted in the door, coming at her, basically tried to kill her and take her out. But Anna ended up taking the infected out. And then right when the infected died, she didn't realize that she had Ellie. Ellie was sitting right there, in between the legs. But then she noticed that on her leg that she got bit. And I was like, that explains everything, because I always kind of wanted to know that backstory. Why is Ellie immune? You know what I'm saying? So that was very nice. That was very nice how they did that. So she hurried up and she cut the umbilical cord, and I'm guessing the disease or whatever, the little bit of the strain that got into Ellie, it basically mutated. It was like an imbalance with her blood, and that's how she's immune to it. So I'm glad they explained it. I'm really glad they explained it, because that was on a lot of people's minds for a while. Like why is she immune? But if y'all a fan of the first video game like I am, y'all already know how it went. Like I said, they did not really deviate that much from the game. So Ellie and Joel, they make it to the Fireflies, or whatever like that. Y'all already know what went down. They end up taking Joel, knocking out Joel, putting him in the room. And then, of course, they took Ellie, because the chick that's the leader of the Fireflies, Marlene and Anna, Marlene knew Anna. So at that flashback scene, Anna was sitting there holding Ellie, and Marlene, they were looking for Anna. Marlene and her crew or whatever, they were looking for Anna. And they came up and they found Anna. And Anna was sitting there like, just take care of my baby, and I can't go with you, you know what I'm saying? Because she got bit, so that means, she infected. And it's like, what you got to do. And Marlene was, I guess her and Anna were real close, because she didn't want to do what she had to do. And she went in there, she had to take Anna out. She popped her twice. I think it was twice, and while she gave Ellie to one of the other guys, to my hold her, watch after her or whatever like that, while I go take care of this. So, and it turns out when they got to the Fireflies, Marlene was still there. So Joel was like, "What's going on? Where am I?" And Marlene was explaining the situation to Joel, talking about, I knew her mother. I know what she is and what she means. She's an end to this whole disease or whatever like that. So it's something, just like in the game, they're going to perform a surgery. And if they perform the surgery, Ellie's not going to survive. Of course, Joel's not going for this shit. So, just like in the game, man, Joel murked everybody in that fucking hospital. It was not a game. Joel was on his shit. He murked everybody in that hospital. And if you know what happens, the story, what happens in the second one, yeah. What supposedly that doctor that he killed that was going to start the operation on Ellie, that's supposed to be Abby's dad. So they got a lot to play with. And I'm thinking, everybody thinking that season 2, they're going to go right into The Last of Us 2. But, I mean, why rush it? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of years had passed in between Last of Us 1 and Last of Us 2. Y'all can stretch this out. And I'm hoping that's what they do. I'm really hoping that's what they do. So, of course, Joel rescues Ellie. And Ellie wakes up in the back of a truck. They headed back to where Tommy and them were. And Ellie wakes up and she's like, what happened? And, Joel just told her a story, like, well, they said they couldn't take, they really didn't need you, you know what I'm saying, because they had other subjects they could get, the blood from. Other people were immune or some shit like that, it was bullshit. And of course we know the repercussions of that in the second game, because Joel said that, it's going to be some resentment towards Joel from Ellie, because Ellie's not going to understand. And and we all know how it go. You know what I'm saying? It's Joel eventually is going to have to tell her the real reason or keep that resentment. But Joel want to keep that to himself. You know what I'm saying? Joel, that's the side of Joel that he's been trying to bury, that he doesn't want to come, to come back. And, he did what he had to do. There was no way he was going to let that happen. The Fireflies, Marlene then, that was on that shit. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, but Joel ain't going for that shit. You're not finna kill Ellie. You're not finna take out Ellie. And especially the relationship they got since the last episode, the bond that they have, it's no way that's gonna happen. There's no way that's gonna happen. So I definitely cannot wait to the next season. This series is great. If y'all have not checked it out, y'all make sure y'all check it out. But as usual, man, y'all make sure y'all comment down below what y'all thought about the season finale, and make sure y'all like and subscribe. God bless the Fed. Whoa.